Good morning, sir.
Please sit down. Morning.
Thank you so much, sir.
1 second, I want to consult the board. Regarding the mask, is there a fresh instruction from the UPSC?
No. Same with old.
Okay, you have the choice to retain or to remove it.
So I'll remove the mask
Yes, sir.
with your permission.
You have the choice.
With your permission, may I remove the
Please
mask?
do.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
Well, Jaspinder, how are you this morning?
I'm good, sir. Thank you.
Where are you coming from?
So I'm coming from Old Rajendra Nagar.
Rajendra. Did you walk or did you come by
So I came by metro, sir.
metro? Crowded?
Not much.
Masked?
Sir,
Masked, the
mask.
passengers?
Some half masked, we can say that nose is visible but masked.
Okay, so you are a good observer.
Yes, sir.
Well, we see that you are a winner at 12th National Moot Court
Yes, sir.
on constitutional law. Eh?
Yes, sir.
What was the precise matter that was discussed and debated and ruled upon?
Yes, sir. Sir, in this case, the matter was about the fiscal federalism and the distribution, the devolution of the taxes with respect to the states. And it was basically about the federalism issue and especially the fiscal federalism, sir.
Good. Now, your interview is on the 18th of May.
Yes, sir.
Now, on the 11th of May, in the year 1998, when you were just 3 years, something happened as far as India and the world is concerned. There were some tests.
Yes, sir. In 1990, I am not sure about the dates, but yes, in 1998, there was a nuclear test done by India, at Pokhran.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Was it Pokhran 1, 2,
Pokhran 2,
or
sir.
Pokhran 3?
Pokhran 2, sir.
Pokhran 2.
Sir.
Okay. So when was Pokhran 1?
Sir, in early 1970s, if I'm not wrong, in 1974, sir.
74. You're right.
Thank you, sir.
And at that time, did India say that it was a PNE, peaceful nuclear explosion?
Yes, sir, it was a peaceful one, but at that point of time, it was with respect to the, it was not as a weapon, it was as in 1974. I'm talking about 1974.
Who was the
sir.
Prime Minister?
Srimati Indira Gandhi, sir.
Okay. Now, I wanted to ask you a question about sedition.
Sir.
The Supreme Court is going to have a second look at it.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure, I have not studied law.
Sir.
So very briefly, tell us in 5 sentences, what is it all about?
So sedition is basically about section 124A of IPC. In this, it is a crime if you are speaking against or using the visible methods against the government, but there are certain cautions that you can criticize the government, but it should not be with respect to subverting the government, basically. And Kedarnath guidelines were issued in 1962 by Honorable Supreme Court with respect to this, sir, that there must be incitement of violence for an act to be called as in sedition, sir. And now the matter is before this.
In your view, is it the case that many governments, whether at the center or in the states, have resorted to this particular clause without sufficient legal or moral justification?
Sir, the data of NCRB points towards this, as you have rightly pointed, that there is very minuscule of conviction rate, that is 1 or 2% in this. And so this is because of the major misuse of this law done by the government, sir.
Now coming to newspapers today and television news today.
Sir.
Please list for us 3 important matters which came to your notice.
Yes, sir. So firstly, the interstate police relations issue with respect to Punjab, Delhi and Haryana police. So secondly, the matter of sedition that is pending. And again, with respect to Maharashtra, it is in news, sir, arrest of Rana couple, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, going outside the realm of law, WHO data on the number of COVID deaths globally, what is the figure WHO gives?
With respect to India,
No, I said globally.
so the global figure is not in my mind. Indian figure.
Alright,
Yes.
what is the Indian figure?
So the WHO is saying that it is 46 million.
How many?
46 million.
46 million.
Yes, sir.
46 million will be how many crores?
46 lakh or 46 million. So it is 4.8 million, sir. Sorry, I'm really sorry.
Alright.
Yes, sir. It is 48 lakhs and
Alright.
yes, sir.
What is the Indian official figure?
So Indian official figure is approximately 4.5 lakhs, and by April it has touched 5 lakhs, sir.
What is the total number of applications for compensation received by state governments?
Yes, sir. I need to check that. I'm not aware of this.
Right. Now, do you think there has been undercounting, deliberate or otherwise, in this regard?
Sir, with respect to our health information system, there are certain lacunas, and yes, there has been undercounting, because as the registration of deaths and births, the figure that comes out, that is much more than the normal or the usual extension.
What's the number of deaths in India a year, roughly?
Sir, I don't know.
What's the number of births?
It's not aware, sir. Sorry.
All right.
I need to check, sir.
All right. You are coming from Mukta.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what's the population?
So 7 lakh.
Which census is it? 2011 or 2022?
2011, sir.
Can you give me an up-to-date figure?
So approximately 9 lakhs.
What's the population of Punjab?
Sir, touching 3 crores.
What's the population of India?
So 1.3 billion.
1.3 billion?
130 crores, sir.
130 crores.
Approximately.
All right, please.
Thank you, sir.
So, taking over a question from what Honorable Chairman had asked you, and you had mentioned that the Rana's case was in the news. Why was it in the news?
Yes, sir. Sir, in this case, there was there is the issue of freedom of speech and expression with respect to Hanuman Chalisa in front of the CM's house, and they were arrested. And also there are sedition charges to be put upon them. But recently, the Honorable High Court, it has not permitted that, sir.
High Court has not permitted what?
The proceedings with respect to sedition, but otherwise, the bail has been given to the couple, sir.
Now, as a law student, I'm asking your appreciation of this situation. Are you entitled to recite Hanuman Chalisa with a loudspeaker in front of anyone's house?
Sir, as a law student, there is the section 268 of IPC, which talks about nuisance, and which is with respect to entering into others' right to enjoyment of their land rights or ancillary rights. So here, and even in 2005, Honorable Supreme Court in noise pollution case, it has mentioned that loudspeakers are not necessary, and this right cannot be the absolute right using loudspeakers. So this is not a fundamental right, sir.
So what the Ranas did was not right or right?
So it was, with respect to rights, it was not right, but giving, using 124A and such sections, that is...
My question is different.
Yes, sir.
Was it right or not?
So if it was using loudspeakers and all, then it is too much of, we can say, overusing or are fundamental, not overusing, I would say, that is, you are exploiting the fundamental right to freedom of speech and expression, basically, sir. At this stake.
I go to a jungle.
Yes, sir.
Take a loudspeaker and recite Hanuman Chalisa.
Yes, sir.
How am I committing a
Yes, sir.
breach of any provision of law?
Sir, with respect to jungle, if you are not infringing upon other people's right to enjoyment of the land and the ancillary rights, then it is not a problem with respect to this. Then that is your fundamental right. But when it is entering somebody else's arena of rights, then yes, sir, it is not a fundamental right. There are reasonable restrictions in 19 Clause 2, sir.
Was application of sedition in this case justified?
No, sir, it is not at all justified, sir.
Okay. Coming to another aspect, the allegation, not allegation, the criticism these days is that the judiciary is becoming a law unto itself. They are the authority to appoint themselves, and they say that the central government has to willy-nilly accept whatever they say. In this case, the famous contention given in support of this argument is the famous 3 judges case. Are you aware?
Yes, sir. Third judges. Yes, sir. There are 3 judges. Okay, sir. All the 3 judges case. Yes, sir. This is with respect to the collegium system and appointment of the judges. First, S.P. Gupta's case was the first case. Then secondly, in 1993, there was this Supreme Court Advocates on Record Bar Association's case. And then in 1998, there was again the presidential reference, and that again the same case, where it was finalized that the collegium method is to be used, and that recommendation becomes necessary of the Supreme Court while appointing the judges, sir.
Do you agree with this contention?
Sir, there are certain refinements required in the collegium system with respect to transparency. But the purpose of having collegium system is to maintain the independence of judiciary from the other bodies, that is executive and legislature. That purpose, and which is a basic part of basic structure of Indian Constitution. And so with respect to independence, it is fine, but we need certain refinements in the collegium system, sir.
Then why did they not agree to NJAC?
Yes, sir. So NJAC, again, the basic contention used was independence of judiciary there. And in the NJAC committee, 3 members were from the government side and 3 members from the Supreme Court side. And this was one of the contentions, that there is a say of executives, or the appointment of judges is to be declared.
There are more than 6 members in the NJAC.
6 members, sir.
6 or 7?
6, sir. To my knowledge, 6, sir.
Okay.
Sir, and in this committee, there was the say, or equal say, of the executives here. And to that, Supreme Court said that this will be interference in the independence of judiciary, sir. That was the reason.
Had there been 4 members outside of the government, then it would have been acceptable to the judiciary?
Sir, when those 4 members are appointed again by the executives, then again it comes to the some sort of infringement, or we can say some sort of playing with the independence of judiciary is taking place. So for a caution, I want to add here, as we talk about bureaucrats, police, criminals, and politician nexus, sir, then we will be talking about judicial and politician nexus, sir. So not to enter into that arena, we need our independence of judiciary, sir.
Okay. So you have given IPS as your number 2 choice?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Sir, IPS, Indian Police Services, this is a very, we can say, renowned, and it is the police service. It is to maintain the law and order, basically, for having the peace in the society, sir. Sir, and I am a peace-loving person, so this is one of the reasons where this the second choice is given to the IPS.
Don't you think that the police machinery has come under severe criticism lately? There was a custodial death in Chennai a few days back.
Yes, sir.
There was a killing of a person who had solemnized an interfaith marriage in Hyderabad. Then this drama about arrest being made in Delhi, somebody being taken to Punjab, being intercepted, sent back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The image of the police has come under a grey or shadow or some shadows, and these are unfortunate incidents, especially with respect to the custodial deaths or the drama that recently happened. And this must be avoided, and the police reforms are required for this.
Why did it stop?
Stopped, sir. Rather stopped, sir. In Chennai, the murder charges have been put against the police officers, as I could see the newspaper today, sir. So such strict actions must be taken, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Jaspinder,
Sir.
so I find that you're fond of writing Punjabi poetry.
Yes, sir.
What do you generally write on?
Sir, I write on the issues basically with respect to the state or women issues or state issues, or I also used to write for my anchoring events and the couplets I used to write in university, sir.
Okay. So can you recite 4 lines of any of the poem that you may have written recently?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. This is with respect to Teede Bool Babal Lai, where a daughter is asking for opportunities from her father. ਕਿ ਹਲੇ ਸੋਚਾਂ ਦੇ ਰੁੱਖ ਸੀਮਤ ਨੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਬੂਰ ਲੱਗਣ ਦਾ ਮੌਕਾ ਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਸੱਧਰਾਂ ਪਾਲੀ ਬੈਠੀ ਹਾਂ ਰਾਹ ਪੱਧਰਾ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਮੌਕਾ ਦੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਚੰਨ ਬੱਦਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਓਲੇ ਹੈ ਜਗ ਚਾਨਣ ਬਣਨ ਦਾ ਮੌਕਾ ਦੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਬਾਬਲ ਤੇਰਾ ਪੁੱਤ ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਨਾ ਉੱਚਾ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਮੌਕਾ ਦੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਬਾਬਲ ਤੇਰਾ ਪੁੱਤ ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਨਾ ਉੱਚਾ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ
You can translate also for us.
She's saying that I have certain wishes in my mind. I want to fulfill those wishes. I am like the pearls in a box. Kindly let this box open, and I want to achieve certain goals. Kindly let me use the opportunities. Give me the opportunities, dear Father. This is what she's asking.
What is the message it gives?
The message it gives is that women, they must be given the opportunities that they are demanding because they have certain dreams and wishes, their aspirations, and they must not be curbed by the society, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
now
you,
I
sir.
want to know, you are a student of law. Can you tell me what is the difference between a contract and agreement? In a layman's term, if you can explain to me.
Yes, sir. So, agreement between two parties may or may not be enforceable by law, but agreement which is enforceable by law, that is contract, sir. And agreement might be legal, illegal, it might be void ab initio, but the contract always, it has to be as per the laws.
Okay. You are aware of the delimitation process going on in Jammu and Kashmir?
Yes, sir.
You are aware?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us something about it?
Yes,
You may
sir.
have read it in the newspaper also.
Yes, sir. So the first delimitation that is happening in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai was the head of this committee, delimitation committee, and recently it has given its report, final report, after various extensions till 6th of March. And
When was it set up?
sir, in 2020 it was set up, if I'm not wrong, sir.
Okay. And what are the highlights of the recommendations?
Yes, sir. So keeping certain principles in mind with respect to the people's demands and with respect to the congruency there have been extension from 83 to 90 that is state legislative assembly seats or constituencies. This is the major one, and they are also saying that
In which area it has been increased?
Yes, sir. In Jammu, there has been 6 seats increased, and in Kashmir, 1 has been increased, sir.
Okay. So delimitation process was frozen up to 2026. Why there was a need for delimitation process in Jammu and Kashmir?
Yes.
First of all, why the process was frozen up to 2026?
Yes, sir. In 1970s, the states from south, they demanded that they have taken actions with respect to population control, which was not equally done by the northern states. And in order to pacify that situation, it was frozen till 2026. And this till 2026 was frozen into 2001 and 2, sir, again. And now the delimitation process has been restarted in Jammu and Kashmir because first of all this is a new union territory and it was rather bifurcated. There is another union territory, that is Ladakh, and this is union territory of Jammu and Kashmir. So when a new state is formed, sir, then we need the constituencies to be divided for the electoral process, and under Article 329 of Indian Constitution, this is a mandatory process, sir.
So under what situation the delimitation process can be initiated?
So delimitation process is started with respect to regular, it is a regular, after 10 years the census changes and population changes, so that the population figure in a particular constituency, it remains, we can say, proportionate. For that this is done, and with respect to population increase, the
Generally
delimitation.
it follows the census, right?
Yes, sir.
And when was the delimitation process done in Jammu and Kashmir last?
Sir, in the last decade, I am not 100% sure about the year, but last decade. Sir.
Okay, when was the delimitation process done pan India?
So that too, it was in the. Sir, I don't want to guess, sir. Really sorry.
These days we hear a lot of controversies between powers, division of power between center and state. So can you tell me under what situations center can make laws pertaining to state matters?
Yes, sir. So firstly, in the case of Rajya Sabha passing the resolution with respect to state list, the center can make the laws. Secondly, if two states they jointly say that these laws are to be made on the state subjects, then again the center can pass the law. Thirdly, with respect to 253 article of Indian Constitution, to implement the international agreement, again the center can pass the law on the state subject. Fourthly, sir, this is in the case of national emergency, again the center can pass the law, sir.
So you said that if two states make a joint request to, then Parliament can pass laws.
Yes, sir.
So in that case, the law will be applicable throughout the country, or it will be applicable just to those two states?
Sir, it will be applicable to those two states only, and it cannot be taken back by those two states.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, Jaspinder, let me ask you some questions from economics.
Sir.
Have you read about the unemployment in India?
Yes, sir.
What is the latest figures?
So with respect to PLFS, it is approximately 4 to 5%.
According to what?
Periodic labor.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any CMI figures these days?
Yes, sir. So they their data it says that it is approximately 8 to 9% in the.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Less than 8%.
Yes, sir. Approximately.
April figures, 7.83.
Yes, sir.
Right. So what do you read out of it? I mean, what are the conclusions you think we can make from these figures?
Yes, sir. Sir, when we talk about periodic labor force reports, sir, and these private or CMI figures, so there is this distinction, sir. Basically, the first case scenario in PLFS case, the increased employment that is shown with respect to agriculture, sir. Most is shown by agriculture, but in the latter part, it is not shown that ways. That the agriculture, rather it is a disguised unemployment. So this is one of the conclusions that I could draw from it, sir.
What else?
So right now this is coming to my mind.
No, is unemployment increasing or decreasing in India?
So employment with respect to PLFS.
And I mean, forget about PLFS.
Okay,
I mean,
sir.
the only data which is coming regularly is CMI.
Yes, sir.
Is it not?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we cannot discount that.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So based on that, tell me.
Unemployment is increasing, sir, with respect
Okay.
to that. Yes, sir.
And when you said that agricultural the employment is increasing, or some people, I think half of the population, or rather the youth, or rather the people in the employable age, they are not even asking for employment. That's what they are saying.
Yes, sir.
So what are the inferences we can make out of that about the economy?
Yes, sir. So that our demographic dividend, we are not able to reap the benefit of this. And also, with respect to especially the women, their participation, labor force participation is very less. That tells us about our society, sir, that we have not been able to give them equal freedom to realize their economic opportunities or economic goals. And also, sir, with respect to again agriculture, there the income there is a more growth, and our youth is required to be skilled enough to be employable, sir. And there is more number of dependent population in our country, sir.
Okay, so tell me something about inflation, the latest figures and your conclusion.
Yes, sir. So recently, for the past 3 months, the inflation has been beyond 6. That is the limit of set by Monetary Policy Committee, and this is rising because of the external factor, that is the world war. I'm really sorry. The war, Ukraine-Russia war that is going on, and also supply chain has been disrupted because of this. And after the COVID, there has been pent-up demand that is increasing, and more demand is increasing, and that is also, and with respect to the growth, that is again the reason for this. And agriculture, that is food prices are also high, sir.
So you said there was a war. How this war is linked to India?
So with respect to international relations or economy, sir?
Economy.
Yes, sir. Sir, firstly, the crude oil that is we take from the foreign country, that is we are dependent for crude oil. 85% of our energy is dependent on the external sector, so we have to import that. The price is rising because of this war, sir, the crude oil prices.
But even before the war started, the crude oil prices were high.
Yes, sir. So there was lesser production, and the supply chain disruptions were also there, and COVID's pent-up demand was also increasing at that point.
Which pent-up demand you're talking?
So after the COVID was over and the pandemic was over, the countries they started opening up their lockdowns, and that is one of the reasons, sir.
Okay, is that the reason for India's inflation?
Yes, sir.
I mean, Ukraine, see, the war stops, inflation will go down.
No, sir. That is by that what I mean is that now the other countries are not buying their crude oil from Russia or their natural gas. They are trying to lessen it, which has increased the demand from the other nations from which they will be buying, and then that has increased the prices. And also, sir, this one thing positive with respect to our economy is that we can export the food grains and such matters, because Russia and Ukraine, they are the suppliers of the wheat.
But if you export now,
yes, sir,
the food prices will go up again, inflation will go up further.
Yes, sir. But we are having enough food grains in our buffer stock that we can sell it in the market, and so that the prices come down, sir.
So then don't you think that you are contradicting your own statement now?
No, sir. What I am trying to say is that we are having enough stock that at the same time we can export also, and at the same time recently this is the harvest season also, we are having enough. Yes, sir.
The new Punjab government is coming up with a series of free supply, free electricity, free food, and so many free things in Punjab, right? What is your opinion on this kind of a step by the new government?
So when we talk about freebies, then the government is entitled to give the freebies or in a welfare state for the social empowerment of the people, those who are at the lower rung, not to those who are at the higher rung or to the middle class. And if the government is having enough revenue.
No, don't if and all, you don't say, you tell about Punjab.
Yes, sir. Sir, the 300 units that has been given free of cost. So to my mind, it is for the it is one benefit of that is that it is helping those who are at the lower rung of the society. But when it crosses 300 units, then you have to pay for the other 300 units. So that way the policy is rationalized enough. It is also saying that you should use the electricity to the lesser units and save the electricity. So this policy as in is fine, but with respect to other policies, when it comes to giving free electricity to the farmers, open free electricity to the farmers, there we need to rationalize such policies.
Come back.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.